Working from home habits. Working from home in 2021 is a whole new world. Sometimes you feel like you never leave home, and sometimes it feels like you never leave work. But the potential for greater connection and personal freedom is there. We can feel it. So let's start gaining some master skills for amplifying the value of living this new lifestyle. Here are the top 4 most effective strategies for creating that once elusive work-life balance of your dreams. They are: collect an early win, calendar for tomorrow, count your accomplishments, and create a commute. Let's lean in a little closer and break these down for you, shall we? Today we are answering the question on every entrepreneur's mind: what's the best way to leave the office when I work from home? According to Stanford University study, a whopping 42% of US workforce began working from home full-time during the pandemic, and half of them have reported that they'd rather quit than be required to return back to the office full-time again. Give me a like if you're sensing the potential for having a greater quality of life in the work from home world. Sure, we've adapted like champs and we've braved this new Zoom-scaped work world. We laugh with our colleagues when someone's cat struts across their keyboard or during a pitch meeting. We've grown accustomed to the weird wall art behind people's desks at home. Even though we are no longer in the office together, there's a level of authenticity that you just can't fake when a conference meeting gets occasionally interrupted by the thunderous rumble of little feet as someone's kid comes racing down the hall. And even though it hasn't all been easy, we've made it work. And now that we've made it work, let's make it work great. Let's get inspired by it. Let's take working from home to that next level joy. Today, I'm going to give you the top 4 tips for ending your workday when you work from home. And you'll want to stick around until the end because I'm going to provide you with an exclusive link for a specialized quiz I adapted to help you determine exactly what type of entrepreneur you are. There are 4 main types, and knowing your type will give you the charisma like you've never experienced before and amazing ideas for creating work environment that sets you up to win. Because the potential for up-leveling our work from home satisfaction is there. And the perfect time to start enjoying a greater quality of life is now. There are so many benefits to working remotely at the company level too. Think about it. Lower overhead, greater productivity, improved overall morale, as everyone can now find more opportunities to create a better work-life balance, at least in theory. You know what I mean? The opportunity is definitely there. Whether we're seizing that opportunity or not can be a different story. Because for me, as an entrepreneur, I carved out a space in my home to get some serious work done. And I know that upholding the boundary between being at work and being at home isn't always that easy, especially if you add in pets and kids and sometimes extended family members under one roof. So let's make it easier because we are entrepreneurs and that's what we do for the world. We create solutions that make people's lives easier and better. That's our jam. So tip number 1, collect an early win. Okay, so you've probably heard somewhere the advice to complete the most difficult task first. Ask as a means to improve the productivity at work. Get it through first. I want to take this concept and just shift your work from home perspective on it a smidge. More freedom with how we prioritize our daily tasks can make it super tempting to put off the more difficult tasks until the end of the day or the next day or the next day, right? And what constitutes the more difficult tasks lately largely depends on which type of entrepreneur you are. And when you understand that, you're better equipped to communicate effectively, not just with others, but with yourself when you're motivating yourself. When you know what type of an entrepreneur you are, you can self-coach so much more kindly, more motivationally, rather than critically, which is often our default. We're often our own worst critic, but we can change that critic into a cheerleader with this knowledge. So be sure to follow the link at the end of this episode and take the quiz. A more difficult task from your perspective could mean the task that will take the longest, or it could mean the task that is the most tedious, or the task that is the least creative, or the task that involves a lot of people, or the task that requires you to work solo, right? So here's my take on adapting to working at home for entrepreneurs in 2021. Collect an early win. As tempting as it can be to jump right into completing our favorite tasks first thing in the morning, here's why you're going to learn to love knocking out those more difficult tasks first. Because when it gets to be around the time you want to start transitioning back into your home life, you'll be wrapping things up on a high note. You'll also be more likely to enjoy a consistent schedule because having a difficult task just waiting on the sidelines for you to, throughout the day, just kind of bugging you, just looming there an entire time, like some kind of ghoul out of Ghostbusters. It sucks, first of all, obviously. But what's more important is your health, your sense of accomplishment, your relationship to your family is impacted. We're more likely to work later in the evening hours when we save the more difficult thing for last. In fact, many people, in particular parents, will often find themselves taking a dinner break so they can eat with their kids and get them off to bed, only to return back to the computer during the hours when they should be winding down. and preparing for a good night's rest, they're going back to that difficult task. So give this flip a try. Collect an early win, then give yourself a big old pat on the back and celebrate yourself and enjoy the rest of your workday to the fullest. Number 2, calendar for tomorrow. One of the most elusive challenges most people face with leaving the office behind is physically leaving the work desk for the night, but mentally unable to stop thinking about everything that needs to be done tomorrow. This is a widespread issue that people face whether they work from home or not, and it can be amplified even more when your office is just right down the hall. Make it easier for your mind to let go of work, to let go of tomorrow's workload by creating tomorrow's to-do list at the end of the day. When you have it all written down and ready for yourself tomorrow, give yourself permission to trust it into capable hands of your future self. Just trust yourself. You are amazing. You are going to sit down with your coffee or your power shake the next morning and knock that list clean out. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, Muhammad Ali says. And you're free to let go tonight. You got this. And number 3, count your accomplishments. I love this one. Once you have your tomorrow planned out, a great way to bring some peace of mind to end your workday from home is to review everything you've accomplished. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Go through your to-do list, and if you keep it in a notebook, then grab a pen and check those things off. Another very satisfying practice is quickly jotting down a different kind of list, not a list that needs to be a to-do list, right? Make a list that acknowledges the small wins you've accumulated throughout the day. When it comes to helping our active minds detach from that busy workday mind, there are no wins too small to be acknowledged, and listing them will actually stimulate the reward center of your brain and can release endorphins that are ideal for getting prepared to enjoy the rest of your evening. Tip number 4, create a commute. I say my absolute favorite tips for last because this is the part where you physically leave your workspace and transition into your home space. Many of us who didn't used to work from home had a commute after work. Now, I'm not saying we missed the traffic part of our commute. I know we don't miss that. But whether we know it or not, this commute had become a ritual because we repeated it every day around the same time. And it clearly defines the transition between work and home. It has a purpose, which is that transitional moment, that alone time. Take out the gridlock, the angry drivers, and we have, now that we're working at home, the only thing we're left with is that quiet time to ourselves, to switch out of work mode. So our minds are now looking for that ritual, that commute, that alone time, that transitional time to carry us from one way of life into another. People who work from home don't get that well-defined transition by simply closing their laptops. Although when I do close my laptop, I always say, I've done all I can do, and I've done it well. It's very soothing. Still, there is much to be gained by truly creating our own commute. Here are some ways to create a commute from work life to home life for yourself when you work from home. Walk your dog, or just walk yourself. Getting outside in some fresh air and light exercise is a great way to mark the end of the day. If you can't get a little sunlight, the vitamin D is a great mood booster. Commune with nature. Walk barefoot if you can to feel the earth's creativity and boundless energy and protection under your feet. Or go to the gym to do a workout routine. Burn off some leftover stress, or at home or outside. Some people find some moderate physical activity really helps them release the tensions of the day and prepares their body for a restful night's sleep. I love my bike. I love getting lost on it, not having anywhere to go, no deadlines. It really just helps me to lower my adrenaline and let go of the day. Try a guided meditation. YouTube is full of guided meditations with different focuses, and many of them can be finished in 5 minutes or less. Meditation can be a superpower for hitting reset on your high-functioning entrepreneurial mind. Delight in making a nice dinner. I've had many clients tell me that nothing makes the day melt away faster than when they're chopping fresh vegetables and simmering sauces. Halfway into a new recipe, you'll be in a whole different frame of mind with the added bonus of a home-cooked meal. So now you have the top 4 tips for ending your workday when you work from home. Let's recap. They are: collect an early win, calendar for tomorrow, count your accomplishments, and create a commute. Start off by choosing one and implementing it for a week. And be sure to let me know in the comments below which one you're going to choose first. Once you get comfortable with the one, add the next one. And feel free to play with it. See what works best for you, so you have all the tools you need. I included that exclusive link in the quiz. What type of entrepreneur are you? It's super cool, so don't miss out on that. And I'd just like to say thank you so much for joining me in another episode. I hope that you enjoyed this one. Subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the bell too so you don't miss out on a single thing. I release new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, so treat these episodes as your masterclass for becoming an inspiration to millions with branding. And as always, the way to become an inspiration to millions starts with our motto: love what you do and love how you do it. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll love.